Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. We are back in the reading room. I haven't filmed here in so long, and actually, I don't even know why I call it a reading room because I barely ever read here, but that is besides the point. The point is, hold on, I feel like should we add a light behind me so it's more fun or something? Please hold. Oh, that's fun. No. There's my favorite one that has a rainbow. You know what? This is actually why I don't film in this little corner, because the lighting here is complete and utter garbage and I forgot about that. So for now, we're just gonna keep it like this. And if I don't like it while editing, you'll never see me film here again. But for now, we're just gonna move on with today's video because I am already so off track. Before we start though, let me introduce you to the drinky of the day. We have Kirkland coconut water, okay? Because hydration. Anyway, welcome to today's video. Today I do have a fun one for you. We've done this video once before and I think it's only right for us to do it again. We're gonna be reading 1-star reviews to my 5-star reads, aka I'm about to read other people shit on my favorite books. Last time we did it, it was pretty fun for you to watch, and some of them were fun for me to read, but some were quite upsetting. And today I have even more fun 5, 6, 7-star reads that we're about to read reviews of and see exactly why people don't like those books. And honestly, for some of these books, I'm like, books' opinions are subjective, but for these specific ones, I'm like, if you didn't give it a 5-star, why? Don't even bother. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into today's video. Let me pull up my good trusty dusty Goodreads that got an update. Okay, the app got updated and got a brand new icon, but literally nothing inside the app changed. Why? Why? I think we have to start off strong, and we have to start off with my 7-star read, the best book of 2026, the best book that I will read in 2026. Okay, we're in 2025. So the best book of 2025 and the best book that I will read in 2025, but maybe in 2026 too, who knows. I am obviously talking about Onyx Storm. I gave this book 7 stars, but some people didn't, so let's read them. 1 star. This was the most boring, dumbest that I have ever read in my life. It actually made Iron Flame look decent. Let's start. Onyx Storm felt like a kid lost in a supermarket trying to find their mother. And then she goes on with a really long review, but we don't need to get into specifics. I have seen what I needed to see and I could not disagree more, but I love this journey for them. No, I don't. I just lied. Personally, I loved Onyx Storm even more than Iron Flame, so this person had a completely different opinion of that, and that's okay. We're gonna move on. This was kind of funny. I need Imogen to use her powers and wipe all of my memories from this shit. And then this person's proceeding to say, I am giving one and only one disclaimer. If you're going to be a smartass in my comments, blocked and reported. And I honestly couldn't agree more. That part I do agree with, but the rest, questionable. Somebody said 1 star, she's so brave for publishing this. Heart emoji. No, yeah, that's cool. That's fine. Very caring. 1 star. I am all for banning books if this is the only one. Wouldn't wish this atrocity on my worst enemy. It genuinely makes me want to never pick up another book ever again. So you see, that book also made me never want to pick up another book ever again, but only because it was so good. I just don't think any other books compare. So we do see eye to eye on some things here. This person also read this book in 2 days, and I feel like if you're rating a book 1 star and you're reading it in 2 days, that's at least 2-star behavior, even if you hated it, because you devoured that. That book was thick, so you devoured it in 2 days and then gave it 1 star. At least give it 2. This one, on the other hand, unfair. I think this person has something against the book or Rebecca Yarros, because she said 1 star, DNF at 0%. Call me crazy, but I feel like it's so unfair to rank books 1 star if you DNF less than 50% in, and especially if you're DNF at 0. Like, you haven't even read the book and you already gave it 1 star. Why? Did you hate the rest of the series? Okay, that's fine, but no need to shit on this new book. That's just not fair. And that's just my opinion. Okay, this last one. My Hoover has more chemistry with fallen hairs behind the couch than Violet and Satan. I'm just gonna pretend I never read it. Please play along. This person also read it in 24 hours. But like, my Hoover has more chemistry with fallen hairs behind the couch than Violet and Zayden is a crazy statement that I never want to read again. And while we are on the point of devouring books in under 24 hours, if you guys didn't know, Spotify has audiobooks that you can listen to, and I'll let Yana from the past take over. You know what I don't understand? Why this man finds every single woman he comes across hot, even though he's already engaged. Like, sir? Oh, he's so good at her. You know, maybe he's just crazy though. Oh, he's getting framed for that. I called that one though. It's always either the neighbor or the tenant. Maybe he's a serial killer. Wait, why did you have to say it like that? That's one. And it was him, obviously. I feel like he needs to just shut up. But it can't be her because that would be too obvious. I knew it! I thought everything's starting to make sense, but it kind of doesn't. You guys always seem to ask me how I read so many books, and here is your answer. As you just saw, I love me a good audiobook. I am currently listening to The Tenant by Frida McFadden on Spotify. Did you guys know that you can listen to audiobooks for free with your Spotify premium membership? You get 15 listening hours every single month, and you can listen to so many titles. Almost every single book I have read / listened to is on Spotify. So clearly they are doing something right out here. This audiobook has me in a freaking chokehold right now. I don't know how to continue with my daily life until I figure out what's happening. The plot is plotting so far. So this will be me for the next 2 hours and 40 minutes, because that's exactly how much time I have left. I stand by everything that was said there. And on top of Spotify having audiobooks, there's also a thing called dramatized audio. And specifically, I have listened to dramatized audio for Fourth Wing, literally all the books. And it's pretty much like watching a movie in your head. It's so freaking cool. If you've never read a book or listened to a book with dramatized audio adaptation, you need to, because like anytime a book says like, oh, there's like steps in the background, it'll literally imitate the step sounds in audio. And it sounds so cool. If you've never listened to an audiobook like this, you must. We're moving on, but I am waiting on my Goodreads to load. Okay, I feel like we could do Hat Trick, which is the 4th book in the Deceased Star series. It's one of my like more recent reads, and I obviously gave it 5 stars. Okay, this is a little bit valid. 1.5 stars. If I have to read the words residual limb one more time, I might cry. Lexi, you know what? That is a valid point. Let's see about the rest though. Lexi was insufferable. I love a strong female character, but Lexi was not one of them. She was a walking cliche, and I would have given up on this book if it hadn't been recommended to me by a friend. Riley was a very good MMC. My favorite, if I do say so myself. So I feel like just for Riley, it could have been 2 stars. And the only saving grace of this book, I don't know if it was only an issue with the Kindle version of this book, but there were lots of grammatical errors throughout, which got a bit annoying after a while. So here's the thing. I read it on a Kindle and I didn't notice a single grammatical error. I just don't care. You know what? Maybe I just like, my brain doesn't register. I'm not an English teacher, so that's none of my business. Okay, so I'm getting a vibe off of these reviews that everybody loved Riley and hated Lexi, because here's another one. 1 star. I loved Riley so much, but I knew nothing about her. Like, what? Their conversations felt so much like this is a book and not a human conversation. It is a book and not a human conversation. I fear that is a fact indeed. DNF at 57%. Characters fell flat, and I just sadly couldn't get into it. The idea was great. Lexi was pretty insufferable. I don't remember Lexi annoying me at all. Like, am I crazy? I don't think she was insufferable, but like everybody thinks that. Okay, this is no. 1 star just for the group chats. I love group chats in that book. That's like my favorite part about the entire book, is when I get a sneak peek into their group chats. Okay, on that note, I think it's time to move on to something different. I feel like we need to read 1-star reviews for dark romance next, because those usually pop off. Let's read bad reviews for Psychotic Obsession. This book isn't even a happy ending, so I gave it 4.5 stars. I feel like people would go crazy here. 1 star, Aria, really lost of respect for you reading your backstory. Tobias, I wish you would have taken your meds. Anyway, Yvonne is the perfect man and I love him so much. Well, we're not gonna talk about that actually, because that would be a spoiler, but anyway. Stop. DNF at 30%, bored, 0 psychotic obsession. Okay, I literally ate that book up from page 1. Like, I was so interested. How were you not interested? How? 1 star. This was actually so annoying. It should have ended with both of them killing themselves. And having the context that they still got married years later. He did kill her bestie. That is a fact, but he also wasn't himself. On my end, all is forgiven. On this person's end, clearly it wasn't. 1 star. I don't know if I've ever written a review in Goodreads before, but this book sparked such fire in me, which only a good beating of all my demons would be able to extinguish. And then she writes a really, really long review. And everyone who gave it more than 2 stars, I have nothing to say to you except what the I gave it 4.5 stars. So we'll leave it at that. Okay, this one is gonna kind of hurt because we're gonna be talking about A Rewinded Back, which is the last book in the Windy City series. And I feel like when you rate the last book in the series bad, like it hurts even more, because like, if you don't like the series, just don't read it. I just have the most attachment to the last books in the series. I'm ready. No, I'm not. 1 star. I wanted to DNF around 70%. I should have. None of Rio's personality we saw in previous book was in his book. There was no light-hearted, goofy guy with a boombox. It almost felt like there are too many obstacles, but they were all so shallow. The miscommunication underlying storyline was highly annoying. I do see a point. I still think he was very goofy in this book, but I also think in the other books, it was how people viewed him versus in this book, it's how like he actually is. So I think that's why they were like different. He comes off as a lighthearted person, but in reality, he has more like depth to him. 1 star. I'm not ready to talk about how heartbroken I am over this rating. And that's it. A better man might have felt shame at reading these 5 books within a period of 5 days. Unfortunately, I have been unemployed and home for college for 3 weeks at this point, and I have never been further from sane. Thankfully, I found this series and it killed all of my brain cells, unsure where to go next. So why did you keep reading the books like back to back to back if you absolutely hated every single one? That's just my question, asking for a friend. 1 star. This is like made in the lab to piss me off. It's actually a crime against humanity that there are more than 1 of these, and the fact that I've read them just goes to show that I am susceptible to anti-feminist fascist propaganda, and that my brain capacity during law school was at even more wrongly low level than previously believed. I don't have anything to say about this one. 1 star. Unnecessarily long, not the worst, but also kind of boring. Not the worst. So what's the rating for the worst? I feel like 1 star is like the worst, the bottom of the pit. Like, no, absolutely not. Don't bring that book near me. This review is kind of giving 2 stars at least, you know? Okay, The Throne of Broken Gods. This is gonna be a fantasy. I gave it 6 stars. 2 stars. I've said this before and I'll say it again. No book needs to be 800 pages. It never serves the story, and in this case, you have 300 pages wasted of repetitive and unnecessary fluff. Was that book 800 pages? I didn't even know that. I thought it was less. But like, I loved all 800 pages of it. 1 star. Y'all, did we read the same book? Book summary. A lock on the door in a house rattled. That's all you need to know, because that phrase was 90% of the book. Burn the damn house down. You know what? Valid. That's fine. Okay, So this 1 star, fully valid. I had to look over this. You lost me at Sammy, DNF. So his name is Sam Kyle, and sometimes she calls him Sammy, and I also could not stand it. I couldn't do it. But I'm not about to like give a bad rating to a book that I loved just because of like one nickname that she gave it, but like Sammy was diabolical. When you're talking about a powerful god named Sam Kyle and you call him Sammy, I absolutely agree with this one. 1 star. Oh my god, they're both so unlikable. It's a train wreck. I love Sam Kyle, and I honestly love Diana even more. I couldn't stop reading the first one because it was a mess but had a bit of a plot. This one, it's like watching trash TV but with 1,000+ year olds throwing tantrums and avoiding therapy. You know. Okay, Quicksilver. My review says absolutely incredible. There's definitely a good amount of 1-star reviews. 1 star. I'm convinced everybody is being held at gunpoint reading this book 5 stars. It has 900 likes. Okay, that's crazy. I said it willingly. Excuse me. I gave this book 5 star willingly. I am here to report that. This is crazy. DNF at 30%, 1 star. Another viral BookTok book doesn't live up to the hype for me. Shock. If you're happy with fantasy on Ozempic, not getting the full picture with detail but heavy on romance, you might like this, providing you can get past the clunky writing and cringy dialogue. Oh, and the MMC being called Kingfisher, who's not a Pokemon with that name. Okay, but Kingfisher is not his real name. I also hate the name Kingfisher, but it's not his real name. He's not sharing his real name for a reason that hopefully we'll find out soon. But like, yes, naming him Kingfisher is the most diabolical thing ever, but that's not his real name. So we're like, I already forgot about it. Somebody 1-starred just because his name was Kingfisher. 1 star. I don't have enough words to describe just how much I despise this book. 1 star. By the grace of God, I will never listen to BookTok again. You know, this was like one of the books that I've listened to BookTok and it actually turned out really good, in my opinion, once again. But a lot of books that are BookTok popular, you guys know I'm like a hater for. So I fully understand that. I feel like we should do 1 more. Let's do Fearless by Lauren Roberts because that's like another very popular BookTok book. And I feel like all the popular BookTok books always have a lot of haters. RIP to the poor trees that were wasted while writing this foolishness. Why on earth would you pull that plot twist out of your ass? This book is officially the worst decision I've made this year. I miss the person I was before I read this book. Stop. 1 star. Was spoiled the plot twist, and for that 1 star. We'll come back and see if my feelings changed, but for whoever spoiled it, your mom's a hoe. I feel like on that note, we do need to wrap this video up because my camera is overheating again. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really hope you enjoyed another video. Also, let me guys know in the comments like what other book videos you want to see from me because I'm like running out of ideas and I feel like you guys have a lot of good ideas for me usually. So like put your brains to use in my comments and tell me what you want to see because I'll do it. And as always, don't forget to follow me on my TikTok for more book reviews, and don't forget to follow me on my Instagram for more day-to-day life. And I hope you have a great rest of the day or night whenever you guys are, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.